Hey everybody, sorry, I had some computer issues. uh, I've been out to like just straight up. Hey Marty, hey James from Cranking and Yanking, Chris Mobley, Brian. Thanks everybody for stopping in. Marty, how you doing, buddy? So I've been out testing my motor and my battery setup for the last 3 hours. I ran my new electric motor 2 hours straight at 100% and still didn't kill the battery. I still had 39% of my batteries left. Glad to hear you're feeling better, Marty. Yeah, so I'm in a little bit of a tiff with this little YouTube channel called Tiny Boat Nation. They are not giving accurate information on the Newport vessel motor that I have, and I told them I'll pay for them to come up here and evaluate I'll buy them a plane ticket. And they said no. They asked me to do a thing to kill my battery, and I said okay. So I tried to kill my battery today, and I couldn't. So, hey Russell Gardner. Hey John, how are you? You got a 23-incher. You did not win the Northern Big Bass Tournament. John, did you really catch a 23-incher today? That's awesome. I was on the lake and I was doing that test, and I was like, I hate being on the lake and not fishing. Just driving around in your electric boat doing 6 miles per hour for 2 hours sucks. It's boring. Hey, buddy. Gary, how are you? You just posted a video? So, folks, get over this. Right after this, get over there and take a look at John's video. John, if you didn't hear, I'm seriously just walked in the door from the lake. So, who else we got in here? None of the folks in here, with the exception of Chris. Hey, Brian Green, Bass Hunter, is in the Northern Tournament. But I'll get the spreadsheet up in just a second. And we'll talk about there's not much change, actually. Not much change at all. Spaceman, our Western Big Bass champion. Let's break this down a little bit. I know Ted caught a 20-incher this weekend. I did update that. That still didn't break the top of the leaderboard that much. We'll give it just a couple minutes. But yeah, it's John. Good to hear you caught a big bass. Yeah, everybody hit the old thumbs up if you would. It helps us out on the algorithm. Yeah, I am going to try to get out to fish this weekend, but no promises. Oh man, John, you caught more than Lindia? Woo. You better be walking softly in that house. You caught no less than 30. 8 keepers. Biggest was my wife's PB. Oh, 19 and a half, 3 pounds, 7 ounces. All right, Russell. That's a nice fish. I mean, you get 30 bass in a day. That's a good day fishing. You're saying a lot more. Gary's right, John. Sun shines on a dog test some days. You're fishing Lunga Friday, Bass Hunter. I'm been debating about going over there. Have you heard good things? By the way, for those folks that are not around here, Lunga Lake is on the Marine base. I live just south of Quantico, and the lake has been closed for like 30 years. It's a pretty good sized lake, and everybody thinks there's giants in there because no one's fished it in 30 years. You beat a boar by double digits. Double digits. John, you're going to get yourself in trouble, man. You're going to get out there and get a skunk on you. She's going to skunk you. She's going to get you like a 20-0 one day. So $80 launch permit to get on Lunga. I'm retired military. I don't have to pay that crap, do I? Oh, hey, James, did Buck get a kayak? Or did he get a water moccasin like yours? $80 launch permit. That's some crap right there. Everyone has to pay it. A permit for hunting running Nile Reservoir is only $25 a year. Just saying. Just saying. You caught some on 30-year-old plastic today, John. I'm interested to see this video when they get off here. $250 kayak. I see him getting wet very soon. I think you got a good prediction, James. I'm sure he especially if he's never been on a kayak. Hey, Spaceman, good to hear that you got your Omni order. Don't thank me, thank Omnia Fishing. But congrats again on winning. I'm glad to see you put that money to good use already. Yeah, we want to see, James. I want to see. You're great at doing slow-mos on your videos. As Buck starts to tip, I want to get that. Whoa! You got to get that in there. You got to make sure you get that, James. I know I told everybody on this channel that comes in here normally on Wednesday nights, everyone who entered any of the regional big bass tournaments are automatically signed up for the 5 bass draw. I know I put a video out the other day and that was just to draw more people in. But everybody that entered any of the tournaments so far this year, I'm just going to automatically enter you. If you want to fish, you fish. If not, don't worry about it. Just delete the email. It's when it happens with Buck. Yeah, Buck's a great dude. And by the way, Buck's got some pretty large handguns, so I wouldn't piss him off. But he's a little top heavy, so I can see. Yes, you're in, John. I can see Buck now flipping over. So, all right. So, not many people in here from the Northern Big Bass Tournament, but what I'll go ahead and do, a lot of people watch this after, because you can go back and watch this after the count. Let me just go ahead and throw the spreadsheet up. You need to figure out a way to take videos. Spaceman, buy you a GoPro. Let me get the old spreadsheet up. Share screen. Window. Bam. Here we go. Russell Gardner, 22 inches, still winning it. Calvin Jones and Jose Torres. And Jose sent me an email just a few minutes ago saying, enter me in the big bass contest, or the 5 bass draw. He is automatically in there. So that's where we stand, folks. That's where we stand. The 2 updates, I may have got an email or 2 while I was on the lake. So if you sent me something in the last 3 or 4 hours, I did not get it. But I know that Mike from Reese/Dad Life sent me an update, and his is in there. Yeah, right there. He had a 19.5-inch smallmouth. And that's where we stand for us right now. Here is our 3 winners. Now, the tournament is over in 4 days. 4 days. And I'm going to just let everybody know, next week I will be in Colorado for work. Hey, Hank Snow, thanks for stopping by. I'll be in Colorado for work. There will not be a live next week, and I'm not going to post the results. Yes, Sword, I've seen that 9.5-incher. It's a big bass contest, Sword. I got you, though, buddy. I'm not going to post the results of the Northern Big Bass Tournament until Friday night. I won't be back until Thursday. It'll be Friday night or Saturday. I'll send out a note on the channel board, and I'll send out an email to everybody. I don't have the bandwidth to to do all the video and do the results before I had to get on an airplane and fly to Colorado. So it's kind of a dual work trip for me. It's work, and I get to see 2 of my grandkids out in Colorado Springs. So it's going to be fun. Oh yeah, that's a good point, James. If you're looking for a cheap camera, the Casa, are pretty good. And from what I understand, I got GoPros. They don't overheat that much. When is the last day you can enter fish? The 11th of June is the last day. The last day is 11 June. The Casa cameras. Yeah, your camera makes a difference, right? You know, everybody jumps on the GoPro, and I jumped on the GoPro bandwagon because I thought it was the best. So I kind of got trapped in that. And I get so frustrated with GoPros when they overheat, or if you have any interruption in power, it'll turn the sound off in your video, and it's frustrating sometimes. But from what I understand, the Casa doesn't have as many issues as the GoPro does. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, James and Chris Bugley. They're around $150 worth versus, you know, a new GoPro is close to $400. You can get the older models for $299 or $259, but they're all plagued with the same issues. So I did see your email. I did see it when I was on the boat. That was my entertainment when I was driving around for 2 hours. And Spaceman, are you on a kayak or are you strictly from the bank? A boat, kayak. I'm pretty sure I remember you said you were primarily a bank fisherman, but I don't know if you had a kayak set up or not. Hey, Chris or James, are those cameras, are they waterproof or water? I know nothing's waterproof, but water resistant for so many meters or feet. Let me get my chat back up. The EK7000 is under $100 bucks. Okay, that's right. You said go to the bank till you get your condition fixed. EK7000 is under $100. Not waterproof, but come with waterproof casing. All right. I mean, that's good enough. Oh, you got a 13-foot aluminum? That's good. Yeah, that'll you can catch, that's a good fishing rig right there. I kind of make sure I got everybody. I see Hank came in. Brian Gary, and I'd like to hear your fishing report once you get back from Lunga. I may go out Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure. The guys that I seen fishing on Able Lake, that's where I went and tested my boat, caught nothing. They did not catch anything in the kayak fishing. James, I mean, you should be ready for this summer tournament. You caught some nice bass in that last video. That last video was, you caught some nice fish. And you got that stretch there on your lake kind of, I mean, you got it kind of pinpointed. And, you know, just like, you know, we talked about this last week. You can only fish at Lunga from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. What, they don't want you to catch fish? I'm usually off the water by 10. And I'm getting on the water in the afternoon at 4. They have jacked up times. Obviously they do. That might be okay for spring or fall, winter. Yeah, James, you have been ripping it up. So let me share with you guys my idea, and I'm going to send out an email, mass email, and kind of put this in a voting form. So we talked last week about the fall tournament. I have it set what the rules were going to be. And everybody's talking about a team tournament. And we talked about North and South and all that. We will not be able to do that. But I am willing to do a team tournament. It can be your wife, your brother, your sister, your cousin, whatever, your best friend. Team tournament, but you have to enter as a team. I'm not going to be matching people up. But to do a team tournament, I've got to have a minimum of 20 teams. I got to have a minimum of 20 teams. And it will be a new format for turning in fish. I'm going to call it progressive slot, is what it's going to be called. And it will be 7 bass total turned in by the team. At least one bass has to be caught by each team member. So not one person can turn in 7. And I'm going to give everybody a separate code. But you got to turn in 7 bass. And every bass has to be 1 inch larger than your first bass. So for each bass has to be 1 inch larger. So you turn in a 12, the next one will be 13, minimum 1 inch. It could be larger. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. And then at the end of the tournament, you got to have 7 turned in to win. And at the end of the tournament, I'm going to take out your smallest and your largest. And that's going to be your slot. The 5 in the middle. Hey, Paul Casper, what do you guys think about that for a team format? Is that too much? Crazy? You think we can get 20 teams? Paul, if you're looking for the Northern tournament results, I'll give you just a second. Sign you and your granddaughter up. Yeah, okay, Russell. There's one team. What I'll do is I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put this out to our community. Spaceman's in. Now, this is the fall tournament. This will be in October. Yes, they got to turn in all 7. Correct, Gary. You've got to turn in all 7 bass. Yeah. And at least 1 bass. Each member has to at least catch 1. It can be 6 and 1, 3 and 4, however. But each member has to turn in a bass. Now, the team tournament, you don't have to be in the same boat. You can be in a different state if you sign a buddy up or whatever. I don't care. But you're a team. You're going to get separate codes, and you got to turn in fish separately. So you've got to be thinking about it, right? So again, everybody you have to sign up as a team, and then you got to catch 7 fish, and they got to be 1 inch. Each fish has to be larger than the last by a minimum of 1 inch. And then I'm throwing out the smallest and the largest at the end. And in the middle is where the winner will be. October seems a little late, Soren. I'll give you the exact date. Hold on just a second. Go to ChenningFlintOutdoors.com where I have the dates. You guys didn't know that I do have a website out there. Fishing tournaments. The Fall Slam is what I'm calling it. The Fall Slam is scheduled between 21 September and 2 November. 21 September is when it starts. It ends in 2 November. Most places. Yeah, Soren, it's not too late in Florida. And yeah, that's right, Russell. You got a good point. It's going to get into deer hunting time. It is. But we did the 5 bass draw last year as our fall tournament. And heck, that was the biggest tournament last year. So, hey, Linda, good to see you come in. You need to go talk to John. He's talking smack about outfishing you today, Linda. I told him you need to be walking carefully. So, yeah, I mean, you're going to have to, but deer hunting in the fall, you're there early and you're there in the afternoon. In the fall, later in the fall, fishing's pretty good here today. So, but I see that Lindy says, "Oh, I will." Well, John, that's I get it. It's hurricane season, but you live in hurricane land. Yes, that's right, Hank. Fish bite good during the storm. Get out there. So I know John and Lindy doesn't like lightning. So I remember last year we had this conversation. Good point, John. It is hurricane season already. I mean, I think we've already had a named tropical storm. So yeah, most of you know, and it was I might have been this time last year. Yeah, I got you, John. I mean, I get you. I mean, it can happen anywhere. We can't control the weather. Brian, that's a good point. It's smoke season here in Virginia, man. You couldn't even see the sun today for all the smoke. I heard it was the further north you went from here, the worse it was. But there was a lot of smoke around here. So, yeah, I don't know, John. You were on a really good. You were on a good track to win that tournament last year, and then the hurricane came. Yeah, I mean, but I did win a tournament in the monsoon headwaters. I remember that one, John. Yeah. So like I said, this is the fall tournament. We still got the summer 5 bass draw to do. We still have the smallmouth tournament that we got coming in August. So I'll get an email out sometime in the next few. Yeah, the darn Canadian dark smoking this out. I'll get an email out to the community, and we'll kind of put it to a vote if they want to do team tournament or an individual. I'm going to use the same format if it's a team tournament or not. An individual tournament or a team tournament, I'm going to use that same fish format. So, yeah, James, October sounds like a Southern tournament. Yep. I mean, October in Virginia is Canadian bacon smoke. I don't think so, John. October in Virginia, where I live at, can be tough fishing. If the water's turned, if it gets cold real quick in October, it can be tough. But it's just like anywhere else. You just figure it out. As long as there's not any ice on the water, I'll catch that. And if I wanted to go ice fishing, I'd probably figure out how to catch my bass. But I'm not that committed. I lived in Alaska for almost 5 years. And North Dakota. So it's just cured, John. I want to say Canadian bacon is just cured. I don't think it's smoked. I think it's salt cured. Bacon, American bacon, the good stuff is smoked. If you don't like hickory smoked bacon, you're probably missing out. You shouldn't say the S word on the West Coast. Which S word, Spaceman? Bad juju? Oh, Southern? Yeah, you had to educate me. You have to educate me on that. Soren, are you in New York, Soren? Do I remember correct? Before I forget, let me throw up the smoke. I got you now. I got you. Southern, no, smoke. I got what you're talking about. Wisconsin. Okay, well, you don't have ice on the water in Wisconsin until end of November. Let me throw up the real quick. Throw up the spreadsheet one more time. Share screen. And there we go. The folks that didn't see it the first time, this is our current standing. The last day to turn in bass is 11 June. 11 June will be the last day to turn any bass in. And right now, Russell Gardner is still in the lead at 22 inches. And if I miss somebody, I will double check my email. I usually try to, before I do the final results, I'll double and triple check my email and make sure I didn't miss anything. But if someone notices that I missed something, please email me. Someone asked me via email if I received their fish, and I emailed them back and said I did not resend it, and I never got it back. Yeah, that's about the only good thing about wild hogs, Brian, is they make good bacon. They're a mixture, Spaceman. They're a mixture of largemouth and smallmouth. The biggest smallmouth is 20 1/4, which is a nice smallmouth, and that was from Brian Pichet, from the Michigan Fisherman. Is Brian Pichet, and I'm shocked. Honestly, I hadn't looked at his channel lately, but I thought he would still be throwing some fish in there. But there's always this weekend, and I was pretty shocked that we didn't see that many fish over the Memorial Day weekend, nor last weekend. I don't know, Spaceman, if you've seen the South. I'll share the South and show you what those fish sizes were real quick. You want to see some pretty good sized fish. This was the South. We had at least a dozen over 20 inches. And actually more than that, because I know Lindy caught several over 20. I know Josh Caney caught several over 20. There was a lot caught over 20 that, these started at 20 and got to 21 to 22. So, and the biggest bass weighed 814. And of course, that was from our Southern Big Bass champion, Lindy Hedrick, from Smallwater Charter. That's a good point, Russell. The weight is going to be. Russell brought up a good point on the length. There's a really good possibility that the length will be a top. But remember that largest bass that I'm going to throw out. The weight of that largest bass will be the top record. That will be the top record. Oh, Captain Lindia Hedrick. It's official now. Well, congratulations, Lindia. You officially got your captain's license. Hey, Spaceman, don't look. Mike Pendleton from Big Bait Posse. He'll watch this tomorrow. He always watches this the next day. He was second place last year with smallmouth. Second place last year. I think he had 96 inches of bass and 5 bass. So don't be selling yourself short on the smallmouth side. Now he's down in Tennessee, northeast Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. But man, he hammers him. If he doesn't win our smallmouth tournament, I'm gonna be shocked. Gary, you saying you've been sandbagging waiting for you to increase the purse. That's some BS right there, Gary. You're my best friend. I know better. I know you're joking. Yeah, that's what we'll use, Russell. The big bass will be the topic. So you still want to try to catch a giant bass in that format. It's just, you don't want to, because you got to be smart about the 5 in the middle, right? You can't start at 18. I mean, because you have to catch a world record to have that big one. Yes, you do got to pay your cards right. A little bit different than the 5 bass draw. You do. With the 1 inch larger than the next on the last two, it's gonna be a little bit harder. Hey, later, John. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. So nice to see Gary's got a fan. Yeah. Gary's been hanging out, and we've been hanging around with each other, fishing together for at least, it's got to be 30 years. Over 30 years. So, hey, folks, it's been about a half hour here, and I know I got 17 folks in there. I just want to remind everybody, next week there's no live. I will be putting out the results of the Northern Big Bass Tournament around, let me just put the date out there. I'm going to shoot for the 17th is when I'll put the results out for the Northern Big Bass. I'll be in Colorado this week. Hey, Mr. Bluestone. Yeah. Mr. Bluestone, yeah, I was out on the lake this afternoon, and the guys out on the water said the haze didn't help. The smoke didn't help on the for fishing. But yeah, I'll be in Colorado next week, and we'll not do a Wednesday night live next week. I will be putting a video out, but the results will be on Saturday the 17th in the Big Bass Tournament. Yeah, you'll have to have a kicker space, man. I mean, you can mix smallmouth and largemouth. You can mix. You can mix them up. You don't have to have all smalls or all largemouth. You can mix them up for sure. Hey, Bogley. Good night, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. All right, folks. I already put the spreadsheet up a couple times, so we're gonna call it. It's been about 32 minutes. Wait. Go to Omnia Fishing. I got to talk about my sponsor. Get 15% off Omnia Fishing with SFO 2023. Now, I just satisfied my sponsor requirement. So, hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, and good luck for everybody in the Northern Tournament. And like I said, the results will be out on the 17th of June. Have a good night.